All right. I have been sitting on how I felt about this George Floyd situation now for a few weeks, and I'm finally ready to say what I know to be true. And I am aware it's going to make a lot of people hate me. But at the end of the day, I think truth is more important, and especially in times of tremendous deceit, which I think we are in today. I am talking specifically to the heart of Black America right now. I'm speaking to you. If you can share this video to Black Americans, they're going to be angry with me, but it needs to be said. So let's just start at the beginning of where my train of thought comes from. You guys know that I am a huge fan of the writings of Walter Williams, Shelby Steele, and Thomas Sowell. They have really informed many of the things that I think about today. To me, being a Black conservative is not a trend. It is not just being a Trump supporter. It is about doing the hard work and the research and learning the things, the things behind what conservatism, the foundation of what conservatism really is, really. And I came across something in Shelby Steele's book that hit me like a truck, and it has stuck with me, and it has transformed me. And I hope that when I repeat this to you, it will transform you, Black Americans, to realize that there is something very ugly and broken about our culture. And the only way we're going to fix it is if we're honest about it. So Shelby Steele was talking in his book, I believe it was White Guilt, and he was talking about something unique about the culture of Black Americans that you will not find in any other culture in America. And it is the fact that we cater to the bottom denominator of our society. Let me explain what he means by that. He means to say that we are the only community that will get outraged and get up and organize and picket and protest to defend the bottom denominator of our community, meaning criminals, burglars, robbers, anything that you commit a crime. Only Black Americans will be out picketing to defend the criminals. It is not something that white Americans do, not something that Jewish Americans do. You will be hard-pressed to find a Jewish American who has a rap sheet as long as the day, and something bad happens to that person, and Jewish people are using their platform to speak out in defense of that person. It won't happen. Same for white Americans. Not a single white American is out there defending Derek Chauvin. They will dispose of the people that they think are at the bottom of their society, and they will instead uplift the people that are at the top of their society, which means that they're raising their average very easily. When you rally behind the people that are doing the good things in your society, as opposed to people that are doing bad things in society, you raise your average. So we have collectively lowered our average because over the last 5 years, it has become extremely fashionable for us to martyr criminals. It's unbelievable. Not even Latinos do this. They will not martyr their criminals. They do not put the names of their criminals on shirts. They don't buy posters of their criminals. They don't get celebrities to speak out about their criminals and in defense of their criminals. They just say, you are a criminal, goodbye, right? That is just, but Black Americans were unique, and it is incredible because we dismiss people that are at the top of our communities. Bye-bye Condoleezza Rice, you're a coon. Bye-bye Larry Elder, you're a coon. Bye-bye Shelby Steele, Thomas Sowell, coons, Uncle Tom's gone. Bye, hate you. Here we are, George Floyd, you are a martyr and a hero. Now, when I first saw the story circulating, everybody wanted to jump on and make him out to be the modern day Martin Luther King. He was just getting his life together. He was out there doing good things. He was making music. Based off the video I saw and the 911 transcript, that just didn't sound accurate to me. But I wanted to let everybody play pretend because it was fashionable and it was trending. I mean, first and foremost, the person who called 911 clearly said that he was on drugs, that something was wrong, that he was not sober, and the person couldn't make out what drug he was on if you read the 911 transcripts. Beyond that, if you look at a video, you will see, which the media has tried to censor, when he is leaning against the wall, when the cop initially puts George Floyd against the wall, he drops a white baggie of a substance on the ground. I don't know what it is. It could be cocaine. God knows what it is in that little baggie, but he does drop it beside him. So it's a man that had drugs on him, was using counterfeit bills, and was high, and went into a store, and the police were subsequently called at him. Now, there is no dispute and no argument that you're going to hear from me that what Derek Chauvin did was right. There is not, and the reason why I'm not talking about Derek Chauvin is because we actually have reached a consensus in this society. Everybody agrees that what he did was wrong. Everybody is happy that he is arrested no matter what color you are. And every single person hopes that justice is served to George Floyd's family. That is not why I'm doing this video. This is not a defense of Derek Chauvin. This is not a video to say that when you are a criminal, you deserve to die. Nope, none of that. I want to talk about martyring criminals. I want to talk about suddenly putting them on T-shirts and picket signs and marching and pretending they were the best representatives that we've had of our community. So I then decided to take a dive and to look at his record. George Floyd, what is his record? Does it matter? Me personally, I think if you spend some time in prison, you make a mistake, I'm a big believer that society should forgive you, especially when you're young and you have a first offense. I think it can be very easy to get caught up in the system. I have used my platform to speak out against that, to try to box people in and pretend that they are always criminals. I believe in second chances. I don't know that I believe in third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth chances. So I wanted to show you guys what the media has not been reporting on. You can say this is not of value, but I'm going to tell you why it is of value. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. 1998, George Floyd spent his first prison stint 10 months for theft with a firearm. Okay, I believe in second chances, and 1998 is a very long time ago. Again, 4 years later, in 2002, he spent 8 months in prison for a cocaine offense. Different offense. We're talking about a drug offense. Okay, you can say that was another mistake. But then 2 years later, he spends another 10 months for a cocaine offense. I guess just another mistake. 2005, he spends another 10 months for a cocaine offense. This time, they stipulated that he had less than 1 gram, and he went back to prison. Now, the most important crime that he committed is the one that he spent prison time for, a 5 years for, in prison. And I want to paint this picture because this is what makes me feel disgusted in Black America, because we are so willing to let Black victims who are victims of Black crime, we have no defense for them. Black on Black crime we don't care about. Imagine you are a pregnant woman, because this is what happened in this scenario. You are a pregnant woman and you receive a knock at your door. And it is a person that says they work for the water department. So you waddle your pregnant butt to the door and you open it, only to realize the person standing at your door does not work for the water department. You very quickly try to slam the door closed, at which point a Ford with 5 other Black men pulls up into the front yard, and 5 men jump out of the car, one of which is George Floyd, and he jams his way into your home. Now, you are pregnant, and at this point, George Floyd takes a gun and points it to your stomach, threatening you. You are screaming, and you are crying for your life. And you don't know if you're going to make it out of this situation alive. At this point, George Floyd puts you into your living room and instructs his friend who is with him to watch you, his armed friend, to make sure that you don't move from the living room as they ransack your home looking for drugs and money, of which they find neither, but they take your cell phone and some other personal objects of yours. Fortunately, on their way out, a neighbor catches the plates of the car that pulls away and gives it to 911. And 911 is able to track down George Floyd and arrest him. And 2 years later, in 2009, he is sentenced to 5 years in prison. This is a Black woman that this happened to, a Black pregnant woman that this happened to. This Black pregnant woman, wherever she is in the world, is now watching as the entire world puts the name of this person who did that to her and says justice for him and paints him out to be Martin Luther King, who just had a dream and wanted more for Black America, despite his extensively long a rap sheet. And they're saying it doesn't matter what his rap sheet was, and that we should put him up and pretend that he should have a larger platform, and that this was an innocent man who wanted what was best. Now, I'm inclined to believe, hey, look, he got out of prison in 2014. That's 5.5 years after he got out of prison. He could be a different man. I would be inclined to believe all of those things if the autopsy result didn't come back and prove that he was high that day on fentanyl and methamphetamines in his system, okay? So spare me your bullshit about him being on the right track, okay? You people that are on the right track do not do meth and fentanyl and drop baggies of drugs onto the ground. Now, again, this is completely separate from whether or not this cop had any right to restrict him in the way that he did on his neck. I don't believe he did, okay? But the idea that you're now going to tell me that my Blackness or my Black card is now associated to how hard I want to defend this person, a career criminal, right? And make him out to be the modern day Malcolm X, you've lost your mind. You really lost your mind. I'm tired of playing these games with Black America. I'm tired of us being considered, not smart, uneducated. Oh, I actually saw comments on a random website writing about the article. Oh, now wait for Black people to start rioting because Black people got to be Black people. I'm reading these comments and realizing that these people are writing in the comfort of anonymity. And they're writing that their perception of Black Americans are people that have very little facts and riot and are angry and have no idea about what's actually going on, or basically understanding that the whole concept of racialized police brutality is a myth, okay? All you have to do is sit down and do basic mathematics to discover that the entire narrative that we have been sold is a lie, okay? It's a lie. There is no racially targeted police brutality against Black Americans. In fact, if you are a white American and you commit a violent crime, you have a 25% higher chance of suffering a police fatality than Black people. Now, you might come across some people that are really bad at math, and they'll say, Candice, I know that only 9 Black people were killed last year unarmed by police officers, and 19 white people were killed unarmed by police officers. But Black Americans are only 13% of the population, and white Americans are 60% of the population. So that's why. No, that's not how math works. You don't look at the numbers according to how many Black people there are in America and how many white people there are in America, because not all white people commit crimes and not all Black people commit crimes. The numbers you look at is how many police encounters Black people had versus how many police encounters white Americans had. And when you look at those numbers, you will realize that the only thing we're doing disproportionately in this country is committing crimes. Take 2018, for example, right? 13% of the population, Black Americans, accounted for 40% of all of the murders and something like 50% of all violent offenses in the country. That's not normal. We are having more encounters with police, and despite having more encounters with police, white Americans are the ones that are being killed at a higher rate, okay? And Hispanic men at a higher rate. When you take a subset and you look over 100,000 encounters with police and with white Americans versus Black Americans, you will discover that Black Americans have less of a chance of having a fatal incident with police officers. Those are the facts. And I really don't care how those facts make you feel. I know it's so easy today being a Black person to take the victim narrative, to believe that we're being brutalized by police officers, to believe that these 9 instances of police brutality that happen per annum are a really big deal, but we should shut up about the thousands of Black Americans that are being killed by other Black Americans, because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter when we kill ourselves. It doesn't matter when we're on drugs. It doesn't matter when we're high. We want the police officers to hold our hands. And if, God forbid, something goes wrong in the midst of a police arrest, we want to riot and we want to burn down our own neighborhoods, because that makes so much sense. And we'll ally ourselves with the far left crazy Antifa thugs who know exactly what they're doing, who know exactly who know exactly which group of Americans will be the most responsive and the most emotional. They get a couple of big celebrities to tell you Black Lives Matter, and put up a symbol while they're marching with you because they all think we're stupid. That's the truth. The left thinks we're dumb, okay? And we have to stop proving them right. We have to stop taking the bait. We have to stop accepting a foolish election time narrative that is going to disappear on November 3rd. It's going to be like it never happened. The gap between Philando Castile, who, by the way, was a real victim, who I use my platform to speak out about, right? The gap between Philando Castile and George Floyd is exactly 4 years. What do you think, guys? What do you think this is really about? All they care about is power. All they want to do is destroy your neighborhoods, burn them down, shut down your businesses, and get you on government dependence. At the same time, poo-pooing you and telling you they're going to fight the big boogeyman of racism that doesn't exist as a problematic thing in this country, okay? Are there racists? Of course. Of course there are racists, guys. There's always going to be racists in this country. Do you want to know why? Because human beings are in this country. And there are Black people that are racist towards whites. If you think I'm kidding, go look at some of the articles that are written on BuzzFeed. There are white people that hate white people. There are white people that hate themselves. There are Black people that hate Black people, right? I think the most racist things that have ever been said about me since I got into politics were said by other Black people, not by white people, believe it or not, right? The whole Uncle Tom Coon thing, that language that white liberals taught us, right? We call that to one another. So we have some nerve calling other people racist when we are the most vicious and racist people in this country when it comes to taking down our own. When we kill each other faster, when we insult each other faster, when we continue to cater to the bottom denominator of our society, okay? I'm tired of blaming the white. I'm tired of your stupid posts. I'm tired of your little black squares that are supposed to mean something. A bunch of celebrities that want to look empowered. They don't care about you. Are you stupid? Your neighborhoods are burning down, not theirs. They're going to fund people. Chris Teigen, I'm going to fund getting people out of prison from behind my gated community that's never going to get burned down. Right? It's never going to get burned down. From behind these security guards that defend me and will shoot first and ask questions later. But I'm going to fund the people that are burning down the black neighborhoods and pretend that I'm with black people. We are just complete jokes to the left, right? Because the thing is that they do it every 4 years and we keep falling for it. It's like they're not even switching it up. They're not even switching it up. They're just ruining another generation of black Americans every 4 years. And you want to know what the result of these protests are besides our neighborhoods burning down, besides our black youth being arrested? We just signed up for another 60 years of black poverty. And during those 60 years, you're going to have AOC and leftist politicians stump on the issues and claim it's because of systemic racism and not because they sent a bunch of white Antifa thugs to burn down the neighborhoods and to burn down the black businesses and to take all of these bricks to windows and businesses and force the business owners to leave, people that can afford to leave and leave these black communities depleted with no jobs. They're going to pretend it's because of white people. Not because of their bricks and their riots and their protests. And because Black Lives Matter and a George Floyd, he's not my martyr. George Floyd is not my martyr. He can go be yours, okay? I liked Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't a career criminal, okay? He was a career basketball player. You want to go have a George Floyd be your martyr? Go have him be your martyr. Put a poster of George Floyd up on a T-shirt. Walk around, be an idiot. But I want nothing to do with it. Okay? And so all you black conservatives who think that black conservatism is a trend, right? Oh, I'm a Trump supporter, but, right? But I'm showing that I'm really black because I stand behind this stupid narrative. And I'm going to sit here and say that black lives do matter because I'm trying to make people think that I'm in the middle. You're spineless. You're spineless and you're uneducated. Go pursue the numbers. If you want to really sound the platform of uplifting our community, cut the crap and tell them the truth. You don't need to be well-liked. I'm not well-liked. I don't care. I'm not here to be well-liked. You want to know what my job is? My job is to be an alarm clock for Black America. You know what an alarm clock does, right? It's a really annoying sound. Everybody hates. There's nobody in the world that likes an alarm clock. But when it goes off, eventually you wake up. My job is to wake up Black America, okay? And the only way I can do it is by telling the truth. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Must have dreamed 1,000 dreams, been haunted by a million screams, but I can hear the marching feet, they're moving into the street.